مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعزائي طلاب الصف السابع. Hi grade 7 students and welcome back to a new lesson for today. مرحبا بكم في درسنا الجديد اليوم. Before going through our lesson, I want you just to match halves of the sentences and guess the relations between them. Okay, look at these halves of sentences. Okay, number one, if I eat too much. Number two, if I have enough time this evening. Number three, if I study hard. Number four, if I don't understand something. So look at the second part of the sentence. I will watch the match. I will ask the teacher. I will get fat. I will get full marks. Number one, if I eat too much, correct, I will get fat. Number two, if I have enough time this evening, right, I will watch the match. Number three, if I study hard, excellent, I will get the full marks. Number four, if I don't understand something, correct, I will ask the teacher. Now, my students, we have three objectives for our lesson today. The first one is to answer 6 questions after listening to the track. And the second one is to form complete sentences using F type 1. And the third one is to match 6 halves of sentences correctly. Now let's get started. Now, my students, we use conditional sentences type 1 to talk about something that's likely to happen. شيء على وشك أن يحدث in the present or in the future أو في المستقبل. This means that something that is real. شيء حقيقي، نعبر عن شيء حقيقي. If it is sunny, I will go for a picnic. If you cook the dinner, I will wash the dishes. Number 3, if Susan leaves, yes, Hong Kong, Peter will be sad. So we use the first type of conditionals to talk about things that are possible in the future. أشياء ممكنة الحدوث في المستقبل. And they are likely, and there's likely a chance for it happening. ومن الممكن حدوثها. أشياء من الممكن أن تحدث. Okay? Now look at these two tables. We use the present in the F clause and the future in the main clause. نستخدم المضارع البسيط في الجزء الأول من الجملة، وفي الجزء الرئيسي فنستخدم المستقبل. If it rains, we will stay at home. Okay? If you break a mirror, you will have bad luck. So we use the simple present in the first part, and the future tense in the main clause. We use a will with the pair infinitive. استخدمنا will مع أصل الفعل أو المصدر بدون to. Now study these examples as well. If the weather is good for tomorrow, we will go for a picnic. If you study hard, you will pass the exam. If they invite us, we will go to the party. If my mother isn't tired, she will make a cake. If it rains tomorrow, we won't. Won't is the short form of will not. Instead of saying will not, we used won't. Won't هي الشكل المختصر من will not. سوف لن. We won't. سوف لن. سوف لن نذهب. We want to go to the park. If you don't listen to the teacher, you won't understand the lesson. If Nancy gets good marks, her dad will buy a new computer for her. If Mike doesn't do his homework, his teacher will be angry with him. Now watch the following video and deduce the formation of conditional sentence.
For example, if you break the glass, you will get hurt. You will get hurt is the thing you think will happen. It's important to identify the cause and effect in a conditional sentence. We can refer the cause as the if clause, while the effect is the main clause. Besides, we use present tense for the cause, while the future tense is for the effect. Don't forget to put a comma in the if clause. Let's try to form a conditional sentence. You will have 5 seconds to think of the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is, if you don't have breakfast, you will be hungry. 1 more to go. Try to fill in the blanks. You will have 5 seconds to think of the answer. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The answer is, if I have enough money, I will go to Japan. Once again, we use type 1 conditionals to talk about things we believe will happen or not happen. For the form, we use present tense for the if clause, while future tense for the main clause. Last, don't forget to put a comma after.
Now my students, once again, I want you to watch the following video and come up with some of the examples of your own.
Mom, I want to get up early tomorrow.
If you sleep early, you'll be able to get up early.
Mom, I want to be first in my class.
If you study hard, you'll be the first.
Mom, I want to be fit.
If you eat healthy food, you will be fit.
Now it's your turn to make your own sentences. Now open your student's book. Open your student's book, page 69. Page 69, and do exercise B with me. Okay, now read the examples. When do we use the conditional sentence type 1? Match the sentences in 1 and 2 with the rules in match the sentences in 1 and 2 with the rules in A and B. Right? Number 1, if you don't plant trees, there will be, right? If you don't plant trees, there will be no oxygen in 50 years. If you need anything, I can help you now. Now, for the responses or for the explanation and paraphrasing of these two sentences. Number A, for something that's likely to happen in the present. For something that's likely to happen in the future. Now, the answers? Correct. For something that's likely to happen in the future goes with sentence number 1. If we don't plant trees, there will be no oxygen in the future. This is something that's likely to happen in the future. ده شيء ممكن أكيد الحدوث في المستقبل. If you don't plant trees, there will be no oxygen. Number 2, for something that's likely to happen in the present. For number 2, if you need anything, I can help you. Now he's talking about the present moment. Now look at the rule. The rule in page 69. Exercise 3A is in page 68. And now go back to page 60. Move on to page 69. Move on to page 69. If I'm free, right? Exercise B. If I'm free, I will go to the recycling day event. If I'm free, I will go to the recycling day event. Number 2, if Saleh wants to help, he can take part in the beach cleanup. If you don't need this box, recycle it. If you finish your homework early, will you come to the park with me? Now, what's the rule? The rule, yes, we use F to start the sentence. Use the conjunction أداة ربط F وبعدها المضارع البسيط present simple. هنستخدم مستقبل will أو الأفعال الناقصة أو الفعل ناقص can أو may or might or must أو المصد أو الأمر الفعل أمر the imperative الفعل أمر. الأمر هو الجملة اللي تبدأ بالفعل نفسه go, stand, sit down, shut the door. So all these are imperative sentences starting with the verb. كل هذه الجمل الأمرية بتبدأ بالفعل. جملة أمر stand up, sit down. So this is the meaning of the imperative. Okay. Now exercise D. You have to match the two halves. Okay. Sorry, before going to exercise D, we've got to do the two sentences in exercise C. You have to read the sentences and choose the correct option. Then listen to check your answers. Okay. If we don't or won't save water, we don't or won't have water to drink in the future. Right. If we don't save water. Correct. We won't. Won't is the abbreviation of will not. We won't have water to drink in the future. إذا لم نحافظ على المياه فلن يكون لدينا مياه نشربها في المستقبل. If we don't save water, we won't have water to drink in the future. Number 2, so this is the fact. هذه جملة حقيقية تعبر عن حقيقة truth. Fact. Okay. So this sentence gives factual information. تعطي معلومات حقيقية. Okay. I must or I can help with the partner if you. Yes, I. Correct. I can help with the posters if you. Yes. If you want me to. Okay. Now exercise D. You have to match the two halves of sentences. Number one. Yes. If my friends will go hiking in the mountains, yes, if the weather is nice tomorrow. If you unplug devices when you are not using them. Correct. Yes, you will save energy. سوف توفر الطاقة. Don't take the car if you don't need to go far. There will be rubbish everywhere. Correct. If we don't start recycling. Number 5, if you need anything, call me. هنا الجملة كان الجواب الشرط استخدمنا الفعل الأمر. If you need anything, call. لم نستخدم will والمصدر. If you need anything, call me. Okay. Sentence number 6, the final one. If we get home early, we may watch a documentary about water pollution. Now we move on to the listening exercise. Listen to a podcast about a famous artist called Brandon Jones and his new project. Which pictures shows his project? Choose A, B, and C. Now listen to the audio.
Listen to A. Listen to a podcast about a famous artist called Brandon Jones and his new project. Which picture shows his project? Choose A, B or C. Then check your answers with a partner.
Brandon Jones is an artist from Brentford. He became very popular this year with his project Rubbish on the Beach. If you think Rubbish on the Beach is just a painting of, well, rubbish on the beach, then you're wrong. Brandon was at a beach one day taking some photographs of the view when he noticed lots of plastic bottles on the sand. So he decided to pick up the rubbish and clean the beach. His first thought was to recycle all the things he had found, but then he had a better idea. Why not use the bottles to make art? And that's how his project started.
Now, which picture shows his project? Which picture shows Brandon project? Correct. Picture B. Yes, that's picture B, which shows some plastic items on the beach. Correct.
Listen to
Now, listen again to a brother and his sister talking about the podcast and write T for true and F for false. Now listen again.
B. Listen to a brother and his sister talking about the podcast and write T for true or F for false. Then check your answers with a partner.
Wow, that was a really interesting podcast.
Yes, it was. I didn't know that artists use rubbish to make art.
It's amazing, right? We had an art lesson a few weeks ago about how we can use old things to make something new. The art teacher showed us how to make a lamp and a pencil holder from metal cans.
Really? If I collect some cans, can you show me?
Of course. Hey, did you hear about the beach cleanup my school is organising?
When? Where?
This weekend at Sunset Beach.
Nice. My school hasn't organised any environmental event so far this year. Are you going?
Of course. Everybody from my school is going. The plan is to clean up the whole beach. Do you want to come?
I'll join you if I don't go fishing with Dad. So, are you going to recycle the things that you pick up from the beach, or make something out of them, like in the podcast?
Brilliant idea. If we find lots of bottles on the beach, I'll keep them to make something.
Now that I think of it, there might be other things, like metal cans that you can also use.
That's a good idea. And my artwork will be different from Brandon Jones's. We can even make something together.
Well, to be honest, I was thinking of making something on my own. But I'll tell you what, we can work on our projects in our back garden and help each other whenever one of us gets stuck. What do you think?
Deal.
Now, let's do the task. The boy learned something new from the podcast. Correct, that's true. The girl knows how to make a lamp from the metal can. True. The boy is sure that he's going to take part in the beach cleanup. False. The girl is going to use only plastic bottles from the beach to make art. False. The boy and the girl are going to make a piece of art together. False. Okay.
B.
Now, my students, we've got an extra exercise to be done for you. Okay. Now it's your turn to answer these questions. To choose the correct. If I study hard, yes, correct. I will pass the exam. If the weather is fine, we will go on a picnic. If I travel to Paris, I'll visit the Eiffel Tower. If he gets my email, he will send the information. If she travels to Egypt, she will see the pyramids. So be sure that there's something wrong with sentence number 4 if he gets. The option is gets. Get is incorrect. So you should write if he gets. The verb with S. Be sure of that. There is something wrong with the PowerPoint presentation. Just I'm correcting it orally. الإجابة الصحيحة gets. الفعل المنتهى بحرف S. في الجملة رقم 4. Okay. If she travels to Egypt, she will visit the pyramids. If I have the money, I will buy a mobile phone. If you make trouble, yes, I will send you to the principal. If they don't invite me, I'll be mad. Okay? By this, we come to the end of our lesson for today. Thank you for listening and have a good day.
مجمع الأندلس التعليمي، تعلم عصري ملهم بهوية وطنية وقيم